Emily Hayes had always been the kind of person who gave her all, whether in friendships, her career, or matters of the heart. Growing up in a quiet town in Oregon, she learned early that kindness and effort should go hand in hand. If you loved someone, you proved it. If someone mattered to you, you made sure they felt it. Her parents had shown her this through their 30-year marriage. So when Emily met Derek Lawson at a summer barbecue in Seattle, she felt like she'd stumbled upon someone who understood that same language. Derek was charming without being overwhelming, and his sense of humor had a way of making her laugh so hard that everything else faded away. In those early days, they seemed completely in sync. Derek wasn't just thoughtful, he was truly present. Each morning, he'd send a cheerful text to start her day. He remembered her go-to meal at the little Italian spot near her place and would leave little sticky notes on her laptop with messages like, "Thinking of you today." But as they edged past their 2-year anniversary, something shifted. At first, Emily brushed it off. The honeymoon phase can't last forever, right? Life gets busy. People get comfortable. But then came the subtle signs. The distracted looks during conversations, his attention fixed more on his phone than on her words, and vague commitments like, "We should hang out this weekend," that never turned into plans. There was no major fight, no dramatic blow-up, just a growing silence filled with small moments that slowly chipped away at her. A Friday date night replaced by a spontaneous guys' night. Morning texts that went unanswered until late at night, followed by casual replies like, "Sorry, been busy." He was physically there sometimes, but not emotionally. Not like before. The final straw came on a chilly Saturday evening in late October. Emily had spent her day tidying her apartment, picking out a new dress, curling her hair, all for a dinner Derek had promised earlier that week. She had hoped it would be a chance to reconnect. But just as she fastened her earrings, her phone buzzed with a message. "Can't make it tonight. Going out with the guys." That was it. No apology. No offer to reschedule. No recognition of the effort she had put into preparing for the night. Emily stared at the message, her chest tightening. It wasn't about him spending time with his friends. She wanted him to have a life outside of their relationship. But this wasn't the first time she'd been placed at the bottom of his priority list. She ordered Chinese takeout instead, curled up on the couch, and let the TV play in the background without really watching. Beyond the window, the Seattle skyline shimmered. Inside, she felt small and unseen. She thought about the version of herself she used to be, vibrant, hopeful, full of dreams. The same girl Derek had once pursued with such intention. When had she started accepting scraps of attention and mistaking them for love? The next morning, she met her best friend, Rachel Turner, for brunch at their favorite cafe. Rachel had been by her side since college, honest, unwavering, and unafraid to say what needed to be said. After listening to the whole story, Rachel set her coffee cup down and said quietly, "Emily, you teach people how to treat you. If you keep accepting being treated like an afterthought, that's exactly what you'll be." The words struck like quiet thunder. Emily had heard similar advice before, but this time it landed differently. She realized she'd been justifying Derek's behavior for far too long, pretending his lack of effort didn't mean anything, when in fact, it meant everything. That same afternoon, Emily made a choice. She wouldn't chase Derek's attention anymore. She wouldn't send, just checking in texts or rearrange her schedule to fit into the slivers of time he offered. This wasn't about playing games. It was about protecting her self-worth. The first week was harder than she expected. She had gotten used to being the one who initiated plans and conversations. There were moments when she reached for her phone, tempted to text him, only to stop herself. Instead of letting the silence consume her, she filled it with herself. She started running by the waterfront again, something she hadn't done in months. She experimented with new recipes in the kitchen, picked up painting for the first time in years, and reconnected with old friends over coffee. She even booked a spontaneous weekend trip to Portland with Rachel, something she had always said she'd do someday. At first, Derek didn't seem to notice the difference. His messages stayed sporadic, mostly late-night "you up?" texts that Emily now ignored. But slowly his tone shifted. He started calling more often, asking to see her. One Friday evening, He even showed up at her door unannounced, holding takeout from her favorite Thai place. "I've missed you," he said, stepping inside and looking around like everything had changed. Emily listened, but something within her had shifted. She wasn't clinging to his words anymore, wasn't hungry for validation. She realized that the space Derek had once filled now overflowed with her own joy, her own peace. In the weeks that followed, Derek tried harder. He planned actual dates again, asked thoughtful questions, and made efforts that resembled the man she had fallen for. But Emily knew this wasn't just about whether Derek was stepping up. This was about her. She now understood that when someone starts to overlook your worth, the most powerful thing you can do isn't to fight harder for their attention, it's to shift your energy inward. When you treat yourself like you matter, you stop accepting behavior that says otherwise. And in that quiet, steady transformation, Emily found something unexpected: peace. Whether Derek continued to show up or faded out no longer defined her. She was defining herself now. And that, she knew, was a lesson she'd carry with her for life. When someone stops valuing you, the most powerful thing you can do is walk away, hold your head high, and remember how to value yourself again.